Now, India seems to have plateaued the curve in the second wave, and now focus shifts to what can be done to prevent or better manage the possible third wave, which many experts say could impact children. So what should parents do? What precautions can be taken? To answer these questions, we have with us a panel of experts. We have Dr. Asmita Mehta. She's a professor and head of Department of Respiratory Medicine at Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences. She's joining us live from Kochi. Welcome to our panel, our special discussion in this edition of The Big Story, where we're going to be talking about COVID in children. And if I would like to take my first question to Dr. Asmita Mehta. Dr. Mehta, if you can tell us, what is the intensity of COVID infection in children?
Yeah, so first of all, as a pulmonologist, I'm an adept pulmonologist, and I would like to say from my colleagues, which I come across, the pediatric population in the first wave itself was very, very rarely affected. Most of the children did not require hospitalization. However, the second wave was slightly different, and most of the people, the index case was a children. Like most of the time, the child came to the hospital with diarrhea, vomiting, sore throat, or fever, and then they found the cluster analysis and they found the whole family was positive. So in the second wave, the children are affected, but thankfully, the seriousness of illness is no more different than the first wave. So in my opinion, the severity of illness of COVID-19 infection in children is slightly less than what we see in adults. Most of them do not require hospitalization. Very rarely, less than 0.3 to 4% of patients will require even ICU admission.
I would like to go back to Dr. Asmita Mehta for the next question that we have from our viewers. How can parents increase immunity in children?
Very good question in today's era, because you see, you are bombarded with the products which will claim to increase your immunity in day-to-day life, but everybody claims to be better than the other. And whom to rely? There are many protein powders and many things. Having said that, there are no data which says that the vitamin C or zinc supplementation increases the chances of survival or decreases the risk of infection in COVID-19. So what I would suggest is just be neutral and just give a nutritious diet to your kids rather than increasing any particular content of food. If you will have a balanced diet, including the fresh, seasonal fruits and normal vegetables, with a normal healthy diet, that will be sufficient for the immunity which is required for a children, for not only for COVID infection, but for any infection in that particular aspect.
And it's very concerning, because with limited outdoor activity, how do you address concerns of overall development of a child? Because we know children are prohibited from going outside. Classrooms have been are now mostly virtual. So there are certain concerns on overall development of a child. What do you think are the measures that can be taken?
I think that all the children who are suffering because of COVID, the whole entire year they passed studying at home. When we were very much concerned about the exposure to net and the TV and the mobile and computer timings were limited, but we are ourselves giving that in our children's hand because there is no other option. So having said that, they are so lonely at home, studying alone. There is no interaction between the teacher and the child at home, no friends, no social activity. So I would say the worst affected population by COVID in any country will be children when the lockdown happens. If you have got more than one child at home, you are lucky, because at least they have got some company. The single child policy and most of the parents who are working, they usually select to have only one child, and then their child is so lonely because of COVID. To be honest, I don't know what to do for that. If you are living in a flat or a society where there are multiple houses and you allow with the mask some kind of mingling, it's fine. Otherwise, there is no other solution. I'm sorry, I don't have any answer for how to prevent that social isolation. I have read or I have come across many reports in which there are many psychiatric issues which is happening in adolescent children, particularly because of the depression, because they can't share the things which they can share with their friends, with their parents, and many social issues are coming across. And there is no solution, or there is no one solution which I can say for that, but having said that, if there are cousins and if there are some family members and if they can arrange some Zoom meeting or something which will not definitely replace the activity which was happening in the pre-COVID era, but it will definitely help. The second thing is indoor activities like cycling, badminton, or some kind of play. Most of the children are doing board games right now. That's also not bad. At least they are enjoying something rather than just having monotonous activity. But I don't think there is any solution for children as such, because as an adult, we have still gone out of house. Restrictions are more for children and they are the worst affected, in my opinion.
I would like to thank the entire panel for joining us on this special coverage and giving us more information on what could be done if there's COVID in children. Thank you very much, doctors, for joining us on this special broadcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.